over to you, Sonya. You're the first on the agenda.
Thank you, Norman. I just wanted to say thank you to Norman for inviting me to be a guest today. Coincidentally, the same day as Windrush Day, I was just listening to David Lammy on Twitter and doing a speech. There's a group on there, so thank you for the opportunity today. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Sonya Davies, and I'm the branch secretary of G&B for Richmond and Wandsworth councils. I'm here today to discuss the living wage concern, which is affecting some of our G&B members. These are not local authority employees, but they are employees who have been contracted out from the council. There's approximately 1/4 of our membership, okay, that have been contracted out into the contractors. In our branch, we have 3 organisations who do not pay the living wage to employees. Without decent fair pay for all, discrimination and inequality will always continue, which is why I believe the 2-tier workforce and challenging low pay is the most important work we can do collectively to tackle this. Now, our members affected by the living wage are those who were on the front line every day during the pandemic. These are traffic wardens, the street cleaners, the park maintenance workers, the estate cleaners. These employees are not only loyal workers, but they take pride in what they do. However, it's not recognised by the government, and it's also not recognised by our local authority. Overall, during the pandemic, our membership has increased, but in these areas, there is a reluctance from the staff to join the union. Now, the majority of these staff members who are employed in these roles are people who do identify as Black, Asian, Portuguese, or minority ethnic. I say Portuguese as one contractor, one of the managers there is Portuguese, and that's all he is employing. And he's basically informing them you cannot be part of the union. In relation to union membership, one of the contractors has also employed people on temporary contracts. So this won't help with the union growth. What we really need is we need to have a strong unionised workforce. And we need to have discussions and debates to enforce rules using employment rights to strengthen the workforce. Brexit has also impacted on these members, i.e. those members that are on low pay will have to pay for their visas to go to work. For me, from a branch secretary, when I received this call, it's extremely upsetting and it's frustrating for my members. Having sleepless nights because they're waiting for the deadline, because the deadline's due, they've not had no response from the Home Office, their liberty's at risk. For me, it's also unfair to treat hard-working people like this. Last year, during the pandemic, the NHS staff had to apply for the right to remain in the country, rather than the scheme that was in place previously, which automatically renewed their stay. Everything for me goes back to the government and their lack of being in touch with and understanding society. This issue is across the board during the pandemic. Lots of migrant workers again suffered multiple hardships with factories and workplaces being shut down. Can you imagine the millions of migrants experience loss of income, food, uncertainty about their future? Could you imagine the impact this would have had on them, on their mental health and well-being? Personally, what I would like in an ideal world is I would like to bring the outsourced employees back into the public sector. But with this Tory council, it's extremely unlikely. What we need our Labour government controlling Wandsworth so these issues can be addressed and put to the top. These staff have a right to be paid the living wage and have better terms and conditions. And in addition, we need to ensure going forward that all recognition agreements with outsourced employers highlights the living wage has to be paid. There's no two ways about it. That's the minimum we expect from employers, and that's from a good employer. In addition, G&B and Battersea Wandsworth Trade Union Council, we have been working collectively around this issue, and we've been doing it for the last couple of years. We've highlighted the issue with the leader. I think we've highlighted it about 4 times. I think we've had 2 responses. It's to no avail. But we're not going to give up. We're going to continue the dialogue with the leader. Battersea Wandsworth Trade Union Council have also met with some of the employees who have been impacted, and they're going to start arranging on-site visits, because we need to encourage the union membership. That's the only way, when we've got more members on board, can their voices be heard. Since we've been dealing with this, the onus is not just on the contractors, though, in all honesty, because the contractors can only pay what they've been given in the contract. And if Wandsworth Council don't want to give them any more money, then they only can work with what they've got. So our regional office and Battersea Wandsworth Trade Union Council are working together, and hopefully going forward, the regional team are all on board and are more than welcome to come back and keep you updated on the progress. But at the moment, it is hard for our members who are who work in these departments, in these sections, who work for these contractors, because we do have a Tory council that are not interested about the living wage. They're not interested about being good employers. And so if you know anyone who works in these departments, I would urge you to basically get them to be in a union, because the only way that we're going to get to deal with this if they are in a union and their voices are heard. Thank you for your time. If anyone has any questions, I'm willing to answer.